Hi YouTube, it's Tracy from Entrepreneur Girl, and today we're going to do a quick video answering a question that I received on the YouTube channel this week. And over breakfast this morning, my husband said, you really should take a question that was asked through the week and do a quick video on the weekend to answer it more completely. And I thought, that's a really good idea because there are questions that I think a lot of people would benefit from, or a lot of people would have the exact same question, and I would like to answer it more in depth. So I try to put lengthy responses to those on the YouTube channel, but it's a lot easier to do a video and you can really, go in detail. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I think every weekend I'm going to choose one question from the comment section underneath the videos on the YouTube channel that I received that week and really take it, into detail. Dealing with returns. And what video was this on? This was on creating a new listing on Amazon. So this video was published on November 3rd. So I guess it was a couple videos back. It was from Prophet John right here. And he asked, can you do a video on how to get products returned if they don't sell and what to expect when doing so? I probably should have asked him to give me more details about that, but I'm just going to kind of answer it in the way that I think he meant it. And Prophet John, if it doesn't answer it, please comment below and I will make sure and answer you more specifically because I kind of wish I had done that before doing this video. But on products returned, if they don't sell, and what to expect when doing so. So I'm going to hit this with both eBay and Amazon because I do talk about eBay and Amazon on the YouTube channel, and I'm not sure which one he's referring to, but let's go ahead and hit Amazon first, and then we'll go to eBay. So I'm on my Amazon Seller Central right now, and what you do is you go to Reports, Fulfillment, and then right here under Event Date, you can click how many days. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the last 365 days, and then you click Generate Report. So this is going to be a report on the last year, how many returns I've received in my Amazon business. And of course, with all of my videos, I hope you know that I can only, talk about my experience and, what I know to be true. I'm not saying that it's the only data out there or the best way or anything like that. I just want to try to help you as much as I can, and I can only speak from my own personal experience. So this is mine, and you can see that in a year, I've only had 7 items returned. So that is such a small number of items. I'm dealing with less than 1% of returns. When, if you think about a brick and mortar store, they're at 9 to 14%, right? So this just shows you, at least for me, I just really don't deal with returns a lot with Amazon FBA. The good thing about Amazon FBA is that they deal with the returns, they deal with the customer service, and I don't have to. If you're referring to merchant fulfilled, I don't have experience with that. I did merchant fulfilled, I think, for 3 months before I switched to FBA, and in that time I didn't have any returns. So I have no experience with that, so I won't be talking about that today. I'll just be talking about eBay and Amazon FBA. Customers on Amazon have 45 days to do a return. So that's a really long return period. Amazon's known for their great return policy, which is why they're such a solid platform. And in this report, I just kind of minimized it so we can see the reason, the status, and all of this. Here you can see all of the reasons that the items were returned. I want to talk about this for just a second because this is an automated list from Amazon. It's a pop-down list, and a person can just choose the option out of the options presented, that most closely resembles the reason that they're returning it. I don't put too much merit in this, and this is why. Because I think people return for a lot of different reasons. I think there are people out there that are getting textbooks and books and reading them and then returning them. So it's not always on the up and up. I think sometimes the majority of returns are because of buyer's remorse. They just buy it and then they kind of second guess that they should have bought it, and then they just click on something to return it. So I don't really, lose sleep over these reasons, I guess I would say, but I do want to be mindful so that I'm not self-correcting. If I'm doing something wrong, like if I were to see a lot of this, like product is not as described on website, then I would really need to kind of look at my descriptions and make sure that I'm describing it, correctly and thoroughly. Did they think they were getting a better product and then they were disappointed with mine? So these are the types of reasons that I really want to be careful of. And if I'm seeing a lot of these, if I'm getting a lot of returns, a lot of people, or are, this is not as described, or doesn't meet customer expectations, these types of reasons perk my interest. I only have one of each, so in a year, so I don't really feel that I have an issue with those things. But if I were to see them all the time, then I would, that would be something that would put a red flag that I could improve upon. And then I can see what happened to the item once it was returned. So these were damaged or defective. Most of the time that happens in the mail or from the Amazon warehouse. It's not to do with me. And I was reimbursed for those products by Amazon into my seller account. Item returned to inventory, so that just means I can just turn around and resell it again. Because it says that it's sellable here. Reason why I needed to have it shipped back to me. An example of this might be, say I had a new item and then a customer got it and opened it and used it and then decided they wanted to return it. Well, I no longer have a new item, so I can't list it as new anymore. I have to list it as used. So in that case, I would want to do a return order and have that item returned to me, and maybe repackage it, change my listing and have it sent back in, or edit my listing in some way. This is where you look for that type of information. So having just 7 items returned in 365 days to me is a good indicator that I'm doing something right as far as choosing the inventory. I do want to give you some tips about that. Things that I totally avoid from trial and error. This is, learned by fire, I guess you'd say, is glass. I used to love glass because I see a lot of vintage things, things that have a good profit margin, but they just break no matter how much you package them with bubble wrap. They just break, and so you have a lot of damage with that, a lot of returns with that, and I just try to stay away from it altogether. Same thing with electronics. Anything that has a lot of moving parts that can get damaged, you're just going to have a lot of returns. So I seldom sell those items unless the profit margin I just can't walk away from and it's worth the risk. I know a lot of people make money with clothes. It's not my favorite category, even though I know it can be successful. And that one of the reasons is because it has such a high rate of return. People try it on, they buy it online, they think it's cute, but it doesn't fit their body type just right, or there might be a little, I don't know, thread or stain, or they're just so picky with clothes. You just get a lot of returns with them. So I have a tendency to stay away from that category as well. Anything that's beat up, DVDs, VHS tapes, anything that might be scratched, might have an issue when it gets to the end customer, I'm really careful about. Certain of the condition of an item, like between 2 categories, like new or very good or good. If I'm not really sure, I always put it to the less category, because I would rather that the customer get it and be pleasantly surprised or think, wow, this is in really good condition, than the other way around. And I think that also helps my low returns. It's new items. The more new items you have in your inventory, they're just not returned as often as used items are. What happens is you'll get an email, and you can click on that and you will see there's an order number in your email. It says, that your item has been returned, and it gives you an order number, and you can copy that order number and you can go here and click with the order ID and you can just paste it in this box, and then you can generate a report. And so if you get those emails, you can come right here to the same screen and put in that order number and find out why it was returned. What happened? Was it damaged when they got it? And then you can just kind of stay on top of it that way. But this is where the report is located. Now I'm going to flip to another screen, and this is under Amazon Seller Central. I always want to point to my computer. Settings, and then you're going to go down to return settings right here. And this is the screen that pops up. Now you can go ahead and set your returns however you want. You can just kind of look and see how you want it to be. And then you can change them how you want and click Save Settings. This is just how I have it set up. The thing I want to dive into is under Settings, Fulfillment by Amazon. Here, Automated Long-Term Storage Removal Settings. And this is the part that I want to show you. This is where you can set up to dispose of an item or to have it returned to you. And so if this is what he was referring to in the question, this is how I set mine up. I want them to just go ahead and dispose of any items from $0 to $10 because I find that it's not worth it to have it sent back to me and to relist it and to send it back into Amazon later, because under a $10 profit margin, my margins are so narrow already that I'm going to break even or be at a loss if I go through all that trouble. If it's over $10 though, I would like for them to return it to me. And that way I can sell it on eBay. A lot of times on my long-term, I've only had one box returned to me. I've sold everything else before the long-term storage fees, but I was able to turn around and resell, resubmit these items and sell them on Amazon again. Something that didn't sell well the first time I sent it in, sold rapidly the second time. So it just goes to show you that the market is always changing. Just like, as you know, with ranking, the rankings are always up and down. The prices can go up and down. The demand can go up and down. And so this is how I kind of handle that. If that's what you were asking, this is how I have my settings set. Now we're going into Christmas and fourth quarter, the rate is higher because sometimes people are given things as gifts and the receiver of the gift doesn't necessarily want it. It wasn't exactly what they wanted. And so you can just kind of expect it to be a higher rate of returns. And I know people get up in arms about this, but it's kind of the cost of doing business. You know, you're in e-commerce, you're selling goods, you're going to have returns. Let's go ahead and move to eBay now on an item that I've sold recently, because there's two different types of listing information that you might see up here at the top of your listing. This one is an item that I had multiples of. So when I look at the top of my listing, I have view purchase history right here. But most times under eBay, this is what you'll see at the top. And so this right here, this view PayPal transaction is what you want to click on. It takes you to a screen like this, and you just click on issue a refund. Try to remember when dealing with returns is that I want to do really good customer service. I want return customers. I want everybody to be happy. It's not worth it to me to really create a stink about a product or have my 100% customer feedback. I'd rather just make my company as good as I can and focus on that, and just not focus on it's not right. I know that they didn't really use it. It was brand new and they said that it was scratched, and you can get like mad about it. And I just choose not to anymore. I used to let it get to me. I just don't anymore. So with eBay, this is the way I handle it. If I get a request for a return, then I promptly return their money. I try to do it the same day, just as I showed you going through PayPal, issue a refund. And then I try to send them a little email. You can either add that to your PayPal. When you go to issue a refund, you can add a comment to there. So I either do it there or I send a separate email to them, which you can find their contact information under, where they purchased it from you. And I just say, hi, I'm sorry that you were unsatisfied with the product. I'm fully refunding your money today. Please leave good customer service feedback. And I find that they typically do. So they are happy that they got their money right away. They got it without any hassle. And you're still getting a good feedback on an item that's a small item and it's going to cost a lot to have it shipped to me. I just tell them to keep it and I just don't worry about it. It's just, like I said, cost of doing business. I expect a certain percentage of it. I'm really low on my returns with both eBay and Amazon. I started staying clear of all the problem categories that I told you about. I really just didn't have much of an issue with returns. So once I refund their money, once I send them communication, I do ask them to leave good customer service feedback. If it's an expensive item, I will pay to have it shipped back to me. If it's not, then I just tell them that they can keep it. And then the third thing I do is relist it. I just want to make sure I answered this. Hey, John, I hope I answered that. If someone is Amazon Merchant Fulfilled, if you could in the comments below kind of try to answer Prophet John's question here and let us know how it works for you, because I don't have any experience with that. If there's information that I forgot or that you feel like wasn't completely accurate, please, add content, add value in the comments, because people can learn from you as well as this video. And that's the whole point of this YouTube channel, is for everyone to learn from everyone else. And that's why I really want to encourage the comments, because it's a community. And if I don't have the answer, which I don't have all the answers, I know that much. So if I don't have them, then maybe somebody else does. And you can learn and I can learn and we can all help each other. So thank you. This was fun. I look forward to doing this on the weekends now. So if you have questions, if there's something that you would like to see in the weekend video, then please post them below. If the content was helpful to you at all, thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Hope you guys have a rockin' week. Bye.